Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, we're going to be talking about Zion Williamson and his exploits, okay? His foolishness, his immaturity. Even though it is unacceptable for a man to be so reckless with his seed, it's understandable. He's young. He's got a lot of money. And at his age, all men usually do is think about smashing different chicks. And now he has access. He certainly has time since he's not playing basketball. He's always hurt. So what else is he going to do? Play video games? Well, no, he's probably doing that too. But he's smashing chicks. But it's disappointing to see him being groomed and used by an older woman in order for her to secure the bag. And that's exactly what she's done. She got herself pregnant. And I'm sure she was smart enough to stop smashing all the other dudes in her rotation for a month or two to make sure that the baby will stand up to a paternity test. But not that Zion would even ask for one, because if you look at his face and you look at his eyes, you know he's not discerning enough to even think that this woman might be finessing him out of the bag. He's in absolute bliss. And that makes me even a little bit more disappointed in him because he's got to know these chicks don't give a shit about him. They just want his money. Okay? It doesn't matter what they say. We all know it's true that all the woman wants out of him is his money. If he wasn't rich, she wouldn't be looking at him twice. It is very convenient for black women to remain silent in this issue, especially for an older woman taking advantage of such a young, dumb jock. The roles were reversed. They would have something to say. So that's really disappointing. But it is what it is. He's still a grown man, and he's made a decision to be just like every other fool and his money. And she got him. She's gonna suck his ass dry. And if he gets even more stupid and marries her, he's done. He is absolutely done. That's the one thing that destroys these guys more than anything else. Having baby mamas and taxes and not paying taxes. So hey, listen, it is what it is. And I guess every man, lives a little bit through the stars that's out there, hoping that they will secure the bag and do the best for it. Because I really don't begrudge him having sex with a lot of women. I would imagine if I was single and I had that much money, I'd be smashing as many chicks as I could as well. But I know me, I would definitely be holding out for that one chick that I would like to cleave to, that I could vet and ensure that it's something worthwhile, somebody who would be a real helpmate to me, even if I have money, and probably would look for a starlet. I would look for a woman with money herself. Maybe she won't have as much as me, but if she was a millionaire or something like that at his level, he should be a little hypergamous. But no, he went into the deepest recesses of womanhood to find this chick. So, hey, listen, man, I don't know if this is a good or bad woman, but I know that if a woman had $100 and something million, she probably wouldn't be going with a guy at the same level as this chick that he got pregnant. Anyway, so so far we know that two other women are bitter about the fact that they made an announcement that he got Akima pregnant. I can't even find her last name, by the way. I mean, I guess I could dig and dig and dig until I find it, but they just call her Akima. She already has a kid, right? She's 10 years, 7 to 10 years older than Zion, maybe 7, 8, I don't know. And she's taking full advantage of it. So, after knowing a little bit about one of the honeys, the character of all of these girls, there's one thing they all have in common, is the way they look. They all have the same body type. There's probably plastic everywhere. And the character of the women is not even anywhere on his list. I don't think he doesn't care about character. Now, I don't know anything about the third woman, which I'm going to talk about right now. She's on the right side of the thumbnail. Her name is Yamil Taylor. And she really don't have much to say other than she calls him a dirty sex addict. And she was bitter that she found out he got another woman pregnant. I don't understand how these women think that they're the only one for a single man at his stature. She acts like she's hurt because he had another woman he was sticking. I mean, how could she think that? I'm not even sure. Was she faithful to him? Maybe. Who knows? But to think that this guy was reserving all his juice just for her, it's just absolutely absurd. It's delusional. It's just absolutely delusional. And how does she deserve that? She wasn't his wife. She wasn't his wife. So what the hell is she talking about being bitter over the fact that he's smashing some other chick? And maybe she's just mad that he didn't get her pregnant instead. Well, she knew what to do. And if she was quiet, he probably would eventually get around to it because he's not discerning. He's sticking his Johnson in. I wouldn't be surprised if we'll hear another woman getting pregnant by him in the next year or so. And then that leaves us with the third chick, this adult actress, adult film star named Mariah Mills. She has done, hardcore, and she has OF content. That's from what I understand. It has to, it has been rumored that he was giving her $100,000 a month. I haven't been able. Nobody. I don't know how to verify that, but there's been rumor that he was giving her $100,000 a month, and but what is really crazy is that when she found out he got this other chick pregnant, she became vocally bitter, like he was, like he should have been faithful to her, even though she's an adult actress. That shit doesn't even make any sense to me. And it really does. I'm just thinking about it. So she put out like 150 tweets talking about how she's going to release an adult content tape about him. She's saying all kinds of stuff. She's hashtagging the NBA. She's hashtagging the Pelicans. And then this shit went on for like a week or two until Twitter finally banned her, and rightfully so. And you know how hard it is for Twitter to ban anybody. But the funny thing is that if a man threatened a woman with an adult content tape of what she did, that's a criminal offense. I guess he has to release it, but I think even the threat itself is a criminal offense. So here she is, carte blanche, talking about releasing the tape. Now, she hasn't, because if she does, she could get arrested, and she should be arrested. But you know what? The way the system works, I'd be surprised if she actually gets arrested. But I don't think she's that stupid. Now, here's the biggest thing. The biggest thing and this is her short-sightedness. If she would have just shut up and let things go the way they were going, whether he got this other chick pregnant or not, I have no doubt that he would have got I mean, who knows if she could even still have kids, as much sex as she has. Who knows? But if she would have just waited and not be an idiot and accept $100,000 a month, he would have eventually got around to getting her pregnant too. I mean, just know, does anybody think that he's not raw dogging her? Does anybody really think that he's not raw dogging her? Of course he is. So if she could have just been cool. She could have been mad. She could have played it off. Just be cool. He's going to come around and raw dog you at some point. Just make sure it's around your ovulation period, if you know where that is. And, he would have got you pregnant. He probably would have got all three of them pregnant if they didn't get mad at the fact that he got this one pregnant and made it public. Because I don't think he's going to be monogamous. You know, the chances of him being monogamous is slim to none. So she got a part of the bag, but if she would have kept her mouth shut, she probably would have been able to get a full bag by just getting pregnant, like this the first woman. Anyway, Zion, just to keep it going, he has fallen out of favor all across the NBA and a lot of his fans. I mean, people are so disappointed in him. And let me tell you, and it's not just because he's getting laid. You expect men to get laid. If I was that rich, I'd be getting laid. Because I was trying to get laid and I was broke back in those days. And I still wanted to get laid. So, when you got millions of dollars, you're going to get laid. So that's not the issue. The issue was him being so stupid, impregnating a woman who's not on his level, who's not on his social economic level, and now being beholden to this chick. For what? For what? Just smash and move, smash and move. So like I said, nobody begrudges him for getting the box. That's what wealthy men and, by the way, wealthy women do. They're stroking everybody that's walking that they want to. So they're no different than men these days. So let's not act like women ain't out there taking all kinds of eggplant. Matter of fact, they do it much better than men, by the way. But he's getting trapped by this chick. It's absolute lunacy, and it's disappointing. The little stupid smile that he has on his face when you see that picture with him and her, it just makes you hurt. So listen, he and John Morant are in the same class of 2019. They were drafted 1 and 2, respectively. And so far, no one can deny the skill of either player. They can both play basketball when they're on the court. But they've tainted the class by being high maintenance individuals. One with his weight and injury proneness, if that's a word, and now promiscuity with, all kinds of women, and one so ratchet that, they had to ban her from Twitter. And then Ja, with his sheer stupidity and a hood-related immaturity, these two guys at the top of that class have tainted the whole class. It's just very disappointing thus far. Ja's going to get suspended for 25 games next year. What's that? Almost $10 million. Maybe it's more than that. Shit, it's got to be more than that. No, it's around $10 million. Endorsements going. No chance of being on an all NBA team because you have to play a minimum of a certain amount of games, like 59, I think, or 60. So he's going to blow a whole bag for next year and the year after because he's not going to make that team, so they can't bump up his salary. So I mean, come on, guys. So listen, here's the saving grace. They're both very young. They're both very young. So we're talking about under 25. So they could both survive this if they get their heads together and do the right thing and just play basketball, man. Just play ball. Do what you have to do to become great players. And all of this shit will fade in the woodworks if you just give the fans 1 or 2 good seasons without getting into trouble. So let me end it there. Folks, please like, share, subscribe to my channel. Send in some contents as well, comments I should as well. And I'll be coming back with I'm gonna cover some other things out there. Like I said, some political things. I'm kind of hot on Chicago and how bad things are going there. I'll probably talk about the case that we just heard, we just saw. And then I'm gonna come back and I got some political stuff that I like to talk about as well. And that's why they call it marriage, politics, and sports. Marriage is not just weddings. It's about relationships. It's about guys fumbling the bag over women, or women fumbling the bag over men. But mostly women don't fumble the bag like men do. Men fumble the bag. Women secure the goddamn bag. And, they fumble it too. But nah, it's not. not so earth shattering as so many men. It's like, our nature of being sexual beings as men hasn't really changed, but the weapon and the tools and the ability to fumble the bag overnight has increased exponentially, and a lot of guys have fallen into that trap. So, our pain over and out. We'll talk again later.